Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Adam. Still, you'd think by now I'd know what I'm going to be doing for intros, but I still don't know. Anyways, through some miracle, or some just miracle, we made finals in LBC. So, you see my team on the top. We have a team consisting of Noivern, Cinderace, Mew, Rotomfrost, Nidoking, Mega Gyarados, Florges, Surfetch, Tangrowth, Doublade, and Shuckle. And my opponent is my good friend Crystal. She has a team consisting of Mega Alakazam, Alolan Persian, Garchomp, Urshifu Single Strike, Moltres, Slurpuff, Galarian Weezing, Stunfisk, Slowking, Dusclops, Ferrothorn. Or Ferrothorn. I just like saying Ferrothorn just to piss people off. But anyways, so in team building, this was a difficult match for me to prep for. I was originally going to bring Noivern, Cinderace, Mew, Mega Gyarados, Florges, Tangrowth. I tested it out in mocks, and it didn't work. So I rebuilt. And you'll see the results of the rebuild in a second. Give me 1 second. Alright, so this is the team I ended up bringing. Florges White with the Kevia Berry, Flower Veil, Heal Bell Wish, Defog, Moonblast. I originally had Psychic on this just to see if I could get some coverage against the Galarian Weezing, but I found out that I needed to slot Defog on because I didn't have good hazard removal, and my hazard and my Pokemon were pretty hazard weak, especially Cinderace and Noivern and Mega Gyarados, Gyarados before Mega Evolving. So I needed to remedy that, so I just brought Defog just in case. Next up, I brought Cinderace. Cinderace I originally had as a Heavy Duty Boots Court Change set, so that way I could free up a slot on Florges. But then I did some testing just to see, can protective pads block Flame Body? And they do. So I was just like, F it, I'm going with that. And it worked insanely well. It could protect against Static from a Stunfisk, Flame Body from Moltres, obviously, Rough Skin from Garchomp, Iron Bobs from Ferrothorn. Iron Bobs? Iron Barbs! I thought Iron Barbs! Iron Barbs from Ferrothorn. This is what happens when I record with, like, not a good rest. Not a good full night. Not a good sleep. Just, yeah. I'm keeping this in. I can't edit. But, anyways, U-turn, Powerball, Zen, and High Jump Kick. We have enough speed on this to outpace a Garchomp. And I took a risk with this. I didn't think Alolan Persian was going to come and that it would be that big of a threat to my team. So I just rolled the dice and went adamant and outpaced Garchomp. And you'll see how that ended up working. But pads there, you know, this thing could hit everything neutral you're super effectively too, so that's nice. Next up we have Mega Gyarados, Thunder Wave, Waterfall, Crunch, Fire Blast with an intricate EV spread for the first time in a while. T-Wave was just there for speed control for Cinderace and, well, you don't see it here, but Noivern. Waterfall and Crunch hits everything neutral you're super effectively. And Fire Blast is there for Ferrothorn. 148 special attack guarantees the 2-shot on a max HP, max Spadef Ferrothorn. 56 attack Adamant. I didn't really have a specific thing, I just dumped it there. But 240 HP, 56 Spadef allowed me to tank a Mega Alakazam Focus Blast. Dang you, Brush, for falling. It helped me, or it would allow me to live a Mega Alakazam Focus Blast after a rock switch in. Or after a 25% rock switch in. which was cool. And yeah, that's Mega Gyarados. I didn't bring Tangrowth here because I thought it had a terrible matchup. Mega Gyarados allows me to do what Tangrowth wished it could do, which is be a bulky check to most everything. Next up, I have Mew with Cobra Berry, Dragonet, Psychic Fangs, Poltergeist, Poirot, 232 speed, Jolly, outpaces Urshifu, and 32 HP allow me to tank one Wicked Blow from a Bandit Urshifu, I think, at max HP. But Cobra Berry, obviously for Urshifu, if it decided to Sucker Punch me. And yeah, once Ferrothorn and Moltres were gone, this thing could sweep. It could really sweep. Psychic Fangs, Poltergeist, Poirot hits everything neutral or super effectively. And yeah, speaking of hits everything, next up is Surfetched. Protective Pads, Scrappy. Protective Pads is there for Flame Body Moltres, should it come. And yeah, CC, First Impression, Knockoff Bravebird. My main gimmick with this set was to try and catch Mega Alakazam. If it protected on a First Impression, I would stay in and knock off, thinking it would Calm Mind, putting it in range of the next set being Scarf Noivern. But I'll go more into that in a minute. 8 speed is there to allow us to outpace anything speed creeping us, or anything speed creeping Surfetch. Just overall nice to bring. 252 attack, max HP, yeah, pretty standard stuff, to be honest. But next up we have, or not next up, last we have Noivern. Choice Scarf, Frisk, Boom Burst, U-Turn, Hurricane, Draco. 208 speed allows us to outpace Garchomp, 48 HP, 252 special attack, Modest, allows me to hit everything as hard as I can. I originally had this set as a spec set, but I changed it to Scarf in fear of a Scale Shot Garchomp sweeping me. So, yeah, Boom Burst, U-Turn, Hurricane, Draco, hits everything neutral or super effectively. Hit him hard, hit him fast. That's the name of the game for this team. Anyways, give me a second and we will get into the match to see what we ended up facing and what we did. Alright, so here we are in the match. So, I was really expecting Dusclops, Ferrothorn, Garchomp, Urshifu, or a combination of either, I don't know why I worded it like that, but a combination of either Dusclops, Ferrothorn, Garchomp, Urshifu, Mega Alakazam, Moltres, and maybe Galarian Weezing, maybe Slowking. Wasn't really expecting Swirlpuff at all, but they brought it. So here, and like pretty much an hour before the match, I was thinking, you know, Scarf Noivern will make a great lead here. I can just get a fast U-turn off, force some tough plays on him, and yeah. So that's what I ended up doing. I led Scarf Noivern as they led with Urshifu, and here Frisk their Choice Scarf. So right now I'm thinking that maybe I can get him to play a little recklessly and go for the Ice Punch if they have it, and I'm going to go for Hurricane and hope to God I hit. So a quick Hurricane here as they go out into Slowking, which was a good play on their part, probably scouting for Scarf, and at this point they know I'm Scarf. So I go back out, so I go into Cinderace expecting a teleport, which is what they do, and they go into Moltres. So I U-turn out here, and I think I go into, I don't know what I go into. I think I go into Gyarados, either that or Noivern. I go into Noivern, as they toxic me. So I'm in the chat. I'm saying no weakness policy on Moltres. Thank God. In my opponent's last match, they brought a weakness policy agility Moltres and swept. So, yeah, this is. I'm so glad that they weren't weakness policy there. But anyway, they go out into Slowking as I boom burst. Pretty reckless there, but it's a decent play. But I go into Florgus on the teleport as they go back out into Moltres, and I heal Bill. So, yeah, they go for the Toxic again, and I'll wish. And I'll switch out into Gyarados here, I think. Yeah. Go into Gyarados. Expecting like a Hurricane or something as they go into Urshifu as I crunch. I should have Waterfall there. It should have been the safe play, but should have been the play I made, but that was too safe. Anyway, I go back out into Florgus, and CC does too much for comfort, so I go into Noivern. And that does too much for comfort. So here, let me just get the drops. So here, this is the first turn. This is the turn that I think determined the game. It's early, but this turn had major implications. Like, it had major implications. I didn't have much of anything that could switch in on Urshifu safely. So, a quick boom burst here. Hoping they'd stay in, but fully expecting Slowking to come out. And they stayed in. That was the most confusing play I saw, or I've had. So, they go out to Slowking, I go into Mega Gyarados, and they quick Psychic Terrain, which is a fun tech. So, here. They give me Slowking too. At this point I'm just saying to myself, like, this is a great start, but what's the catch? But the catch is soon coming. So regular Garchomp comes in here and scale shots my Gyarados, and hit it hard with Waterfall but can't KO it. So I'm thinking here, I really need to preserve Mega Gyarados for the Moltres. So I switch out into Florgus and sack it off to an Earthquake. I was thinking he was going to Scale Shot, or she was going to Scale Shot, but that didn't happen. So I bring out Noivern thinking I can KO it with Boom Burst, only to realize I choked it away in the Calc, and I didn't put Scarf on instead of Specs. Scale Shot KOs, and I go into Surfetched and quick First Impression. At this point, I'm losing it. Like, I'm really losing it. But thankfully, they weren't Life Orb, so Earthquake does nothing to me. So, I knock this thing out with a knockoff, and Alakazam comes in, expanding forces, and I go into Cinderace. As they go into Moltres, and I U-turn out, and I go into Gyarados here. So, they missed Toxic, which is whatever, but it didn't end up mattering in the end as Hurricane does nothing, and Mega Gyarados takes out the Moltres. So, Alakazam comes in, and I give them Mega Gyarados, go into Cinderace. Expanding Force does not knock me out as I go for the U-turn, knocking out Mega Alakazam in one hit, and at this point it's Swirlpuff versus the world. So at this point, I made a misplay here, but it didn't end up mattering. So I was so worried about Unburdened shenanigans. Like Mago Berry, Unburdened, Belladrum, that set probably would have won the game. I really needed to just quick Psychic Fangs here, but I ended up Dragon Dancing, which I almost choked it on that play. But it didn't end up mattering because they were Calm Mind. So I Dragon Dance up once more, and with this last move, I calced it +3 with OCO pretty much any Swirl So I'm excited at this point. I quick psychic things and we knock it out in one hit. And that's that. Your East Tennessee Emaugas are the LBC Season 6 champions. This was the weirdest season of any draft league I've ever been a part of. Like, I mean, I've been chasing playoffs in this league for 3 seasons. I finally made playoffs this season. And I came in to playoffs 5-5. I was the only team that had that record, 5-5. Everyone else was 7-3 or 8-2. Came in round 1, beat Luca. Beat Luca in his New York Alakazams. They were 7-3. Semifinals. Beat Trolls Royce in his Sacramento Swallows. They were 8-2. And came in to finals. I feel like I was a heavy underdog. And I beat Crystal and her Snow Lopunnys. They were 8. No, they weren't 8-2. They were 7-3. They would have been 8-2 though. Probably 9-1, maybe 10-0. I don't know. But because I know RNG cost them a lot. But this is like finding a shiny Pokemon in Gen 4 or Gen 5 for me. You can search for days, months, or even years. And if/when you finally do get one, it's so surreal when it happens. Like, I've been chasing this dream for a long time. I've wanted to win a draft league championship for a while now, and I can finally say I've done it. So, well, I guess as is stereotypical for achieving any major accomplishment, thanks, or just giving some thank yous. Thanks to my team building crew. Thanks to my team building crew, Josh, Bill, Snom, NGT, Fuego. Y'all have been awesome. And I actually want to give a thanks to my opponent. For not just for playing a good game and for being a good sport about everything, but what many people don't know is Crystal was actually the one who coached me up. Like, I'm only this good in draft thanks to her. Like, after I lost out on playoffs, I just began bouncing ideas, or we just began bouncing draft ideas off of each other, and then I started building. And then we started building together, and then, yeah, I eventually picked up the ideas and made some of my own. And yeah, it's just I've never beat Crystal before in a standard league match. It's always been in practice battles. But yeah, it's surreal that to win my first championship, I had to go through the person who was pretty much indirectly responsible for making me such a good battler. Like, it's insane. But anyways, I'm in a PU league ran by Crystal right now, so I'll have that matchup up like later on. Maybe not today, but later. But yeah, I have a fun team in that league, and I'm excited to show it to y'all in action. Like, I'm excited. But anyways, guys, see y'all then. Peace.